Good morning, children. Today I am going to teach you writing portion. In that I am going to teach you story writing. Dear students, as you know that in writing portion I have taught you descriptive paragraph. In that descriptive paragraph related to person, event, place, and after that I taught you diary entry, or then finally I taught you story writing. As I have discussed in the class, dear students, this story writing question is very important, and in this story writing question can be asked in two ways in your exam. One, that beginning lines will be given up in the question. Beginning lines will be given, 2-3 lines, 1 or 2 lines will be given, or on the basis of beginning lines you have to complete the story in 150 to 200 words. And second type of question that it will be on the basis of given outlines or on the basis of given hints. In question, hints will be given, outlines will be given. On the basis of given outlines and hints, you have to complete that question or that story. Two ways: on the basis of given outlines and on the basis of given lines, beginning lines. Understood? So today our both type of questions we have discussed in the class, dear students. Today I am going to teach you story writing question that is on the basis of given hints or given outlines, dear students. So in outline questions that it can be suppose point wise some points will be given, or the contents will be given in this way in box. You have to firstly read the contents, and after that you should make your strategy that how will you complete and how will you write the story. See this content. First of all, question: write a story in 150 to 200 words with the help of given outlines, dear students. Or in that, dear students, content is given, hints is given. X fell down in the river, couldn't swim, unhappy at his misfortune, and wept. God of forest appeared and promised to get back his axe, and dived, came out with the axe of gold, not mine, dived again and came out with the silver axe, again refused and said it is not mine, and then said the woodcutter, and dived again and finally came out with the iron axe. And this is mine and truly honest, and God of forest gave him all 3 axes. So here after reading the content, dear students, you must have seen, you must have understood that it is the story of a woodcutter. The central character of this story is that woodcutter. Understood? So obviously this story will start with that woodcutter. Understood? Or here after seeing the contents, you must have estimated in your mind, you must have understood that this story is about the honesty of that woodcutter. Understood? So you may start your story that there was a woodcutter who used to chop the wood from the forest, Understood? This was his only the means of survival. By cutting the woods from the forest, from the trees, he was selling in the market, and after that whatever money he was getting, by that he was able to manage his life. He was surviving. And dear students, that woodcutter, one day he was chopping the wood on the bank of river, and his hands were wet. Due to that, the axe slipped away, and unfortunately that axe fell into the water. After that, this woodcutter became very sad. He started crying. The reason behind his cry and sadness was he was not able to swim, because he couldn't swim. He was not knowing that how to swim, and how to swim in the water, and how to dive. Understood? So for that reason he started crying, dear students, or he became very sad. Understood? And he was regretting and cursing to himself, and he was sad at his misfortune. Seeing his condition, seeing his situation, the god of forest at once appeared. Understood? And after, but in a form of simple human being. Understood? And god of forest asked him, what is the reason why he was crying. Then finally the woodcutter replied that he was crying because his axe fell into the river, in the water, and unfortunately he was not knowing that swimming. Then how he will get it? So finally god of forest promised him that he will give his axe back, and for that he dived into the water, dear students, the god of forest. And after that what happened? God of forest wanted to check his honesty, whether the person was honest or greedy. So for the first time, dear students, god of forest came with the gold axe. Here is given, the axe of gold. He came out with that gold axe, and he offered and gave that and offered that gold axe to him. But the honest woodcutter refused to take it, and he said that it was not his. Understood? After that, the god of forest again dived into the water, and this time he came with the silver axe, dear students. And when he came out with the silver axe, the honest woodcutter, this time also he said that it was not his axe. Understood? He refused to take. And lastly, dear students, third time the god of forest again dived into the water, and this time he came with the iron axe. And dear students, what I want to tell you, when he came with the iron axe, the woodcutter, the honest fellow, he was very happy to see his own axe, his real axe that was made up of iron. So seeing his own axe, understood, he was very happy. He jumped with joy, and finally he accepted that iron axe. To seeing his honesty, dear students, the god of forest at once decided that this man should be given all three axes, the gold axe also, silver axe also, and that iron axe also, that was his own. So ultimately the conclusion of the story is, dear students, कि honesty pays in the long run, or you may say honesty is the best policy. Understood? an honest man is really liked and loved by God. So in this story we are seeing that God of forest wanted to check the honesty, understood, of that woodcutter, whether he was honest or not. And ultimately he found that the woodcutter was really honest. He was not greedy. He wanted only the real one. He wanted his own axe that was made up of iron. Though the other two axes were offered by that god of forest to him, that was the gold axe and that silver axe, but that man refused to take. So in this story, dear students, we have reached to the conclusion that honesty is the best policy, or honesty pays in the long run. Understood? So in this way, you dear students, you may do the questions of story writing, and in next video we will discuss another question, another lesson. So thank you, dear students.